Welcome back to another lesson of Microsoft Excel. In this lesson, we are going to learn about how we can make a table and then also make a chart out of it. Now, before making a chart and also a table, you're going to need an array of data, or let's say a range of data. As you can see over here that I have the same range of data which I use in my filter function. Now, when you want to make yourself a table, is that you have to select the whole range of data and then turn it into a table. I'm going to do is first off select the whole range of data. I'm going to go off to insert, and you have this option over here called table in the tables option. Click on table and this option appears up. Select up your cell. Now if you want header, you can also keep your header, but if you don't want header, you can deselect it, but I want headers most of the time. Okay, so I'm going to press on OK. And you can see that my header has been created and also my table. So as I have my table of data and also a couple of these information inside of it, now I can edit it however I want. Let's say I'm going to click on this table. I'm going to press on Control A. You will see this option called table design. From here, you can customize your table however you want. First, I'm going to do is zoom out a bit so that I can see the whole data table. Then the first one I'm going to do is going to be inserting a slicer. I'm going to click on insert slicer, then you can select on whichever one you want. Let's say I'm going to do is, let's say instead of that, I'm going to do is just keep ID numbers, okay? Press on OK, and there we go. We have our ID number. You can use whichever ID number you want to use. Select on them, and it will give you the exact result of that specific ID, okay? And press on Control Z, and now you can just press on this, and it will give you the whole results back again. Now, even though you're done with this, I'm going to do is remove it. I'm going to press on Control Z and do is just remove this part, and there we go. Now you can also apply filters instead of applying, your data. How do you do that? I'm going to press on Control Z again so that I can turn this into a basic data table instead of this being a table, okay? I'm going to do is select on them. I'm going to do is go off to insert, and you can turn it into whatever you want. What I'm going to do is click on them, and you can fix it up according to however your work needs. Now you can go off to insert, and then you will find out timelines or maybe filters, okay? You can apply in filters according to your need, but already the filters have been added when you apply it in your header, okay? From this filter option, you can select whichever ID you want or deselect them according to your desire. Let's say I'm going to do is remove this 9946 and then remove these couple of ones. So I'm going to press on OK, and couple of the data has been removed. Even though it's not removed totally, it's just not showing you in the specific table. Now let's say I'm going to select on the specific city. I'm going to do is remove London. Only NYC and Vegas are now available. Now let's say I'm going to do is remove NYC, just keep Vegas, and it will give you only the Vegas ones. Now I'm going to do is select all of them and see how many people or how many cities are there. Press on OK, and you can see these are the ones. What I'm going to do is select on London, press on OK, and these are the values of that specific city. We can do the same thing with Vegas. I'm going to do this with Vegas or maybe NYC. Press on OK, and there we go. Okay, so this is basically how you filter up your data and turn this into a table. But there are a lot more things which you can do with the table, okay? I'm going to do select all so that I can select all of them, press on OK, so that I have the whole range of data at the same time. I'm going to go off the table design. Now you can remove the duplicates if you want to. Now, how are you going to do that? First off, you have to click on remove duplicates, and you have to select the prices and select the IDs. Let's say I don't want the same IDs. Okay, I'm going to just remove the other ones. What I'm going to do is keep the IDs. Okay, or let's say remove the IDs. I'm going to press on OK, and all of the same IDs with the same number has been removed. Now, only the ones that are different remain. Okay, now you can press on Control Z and keep it the way it is. Now, just like I said, if you want to turn it into a range again, what you can do is convert to range, press on OK, and you can see that it is not anymore into a table. Then you can make it into a filter. Okay, you have the sort and filter option. You can filter it up. You can see the filters have been added, and it identifies all of the data in the specific cell and what data it contains in that specific column. Okay, so you don't even have to worry about selecting the array and then placing it up like data validation. It just identifies or scans up the data which it contains in that specific column. So basically most of the features inside of Excel or the default setting is in virtual, or let's say in vertical mode. So what happens is that when you put in any data, it's just going to select or scan up the vertical data in a column. Now you can also sort it up according to your desire. Let's say I'm going to do is select on the specific cell. I'm going to do is click on sort and filter. I'm going to keep it to A to Z. Press on OK, and you can see it is from A to Z. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Select on the cell, press on Control Z, and it will be like this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is going to be selecting on the invoice. We can do the same thing with numbers over here. Let's say newest to oldest. Press on OK, and there we go. This is the newest, so the oldest value or the oldest date. You can do the same thing whichever columns you want to do it with, but it has to contain data. Okay. Or even if you say that in one of the cells in a specific column, there are two different types of data. Let's say one is alphabet and one is numerical. Sometimes it does not work, or sometimes it just puts the value at the end. Okay. So let's try doing it over here. I'm going to type in Word. I'm going to select this specific column, go to sort and filter, and you can see smallest to largest. Press on OK, and you can see it just kept it at the end, okay, or at the bottom. So this is basically how the sort and filter works in Microsoft Excel. Now, what we're going to do is going to be making a chart out of it. Now, how do you make a chart out of the specific cell or specific column, or maybe even a specific table? So the first thing you have to do is go out to Insert. After selecting your specific column or your table, then you have the section over here called Charts. Now select in whichever type of chart you want. Now from here, you can select on them and select the chart you want. You can also go through other categories and select the chart. Let's say I'm going to go over here and fix out my desired chart. I'm going to do is use my pie chart. Let's say I'm going to click on this. I'm going to do is extend the size, and there we go. We have it. So this is basically how you filter and sort data, and at the same time, you can make a chart out of it. And if you want to convert it, this chart, you can click on this, click on Format, and you can change the format selection if you want to. You can do that. You can also replace it or reset to match style. That's like totally up to you. You can fix the chart area, chart tile according to your need. You can go to chart design, and you can add chart elements too. You can also change the layout, and you can also change the chart type. Let's say if you don't want the pie chart or maybe a bar chart, you can click on bar and select any one, and you'll basically see that it will just convert into a bar chart. Okay. And the one will not be underneath. You can see it over here. It's the same chart. Then you can format it up according to your desire, use whichever style you want, and that's like totally up to you how you're going to work with it. You can move the chart, you can switch row and column, you can also select the data. Let's say I'm going to move the chart, press on, let's say new sheet, you can do that. If you want to select the data, you can also select the data. Let's say I'm going to deselect it, press on OK, and that specific data will be removed. Press on Control Z, and I have it right over here. So hope you learned everything in this lesson and understood everything. If you didn't understand a part, please let us know and we will guide you through the whole process. Now let's move on to our next lesson of Microsoft Excel.